is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Crypto Sherpa Show, where I cover the latest cryptocurrency news articles to keep you up to date on what is going on. And for those of you who watched the Bitcoin Bench show, I was wearing a green shirt, but now you get tank top muscular Sherpa. I'm still trying to hit the gym when I can. But welcome back to the show. Baxter, what are you doing? We got Baxter here as well. Hope everyone's having an awesome Thursday. There's so much going on today. Like Bitcoin actually dipped beneath 90,000 today, but we're back up to $90,828. What is causing this dip going on? Well, there's a lot of stuff going on. We have the market structure bill, which is about to be voted on next Thursday, the 15th. But we have a lot of crypto representatives flying down to D.C. to educate the Senate. Oh, you okay, Baxter? To educate the Senate on crypto, Bitcoin, and that would help them make their decision on the vote for it. So prices may be holding down, just waiting on that position. Like, is it going to get passed through? Is it not? So that could be what's holding down the price. But what else is going on in the crypto space today? Let's dive right on into it. We got Cathie Wood just said on Fox that the 4-year Bitcoin cycle is dead. We're entering a super cycle. The parabolic phase has officially begun. So again, more and more people are talking about, are finally agreeing that, or at least we believe that we're agreeing on that the 4-year cycle is over. Like we could have had like a previous dip that should have like kind of ended in October. October, November, which we had the dip going on, but usually that's when a crash would happen. And then if you take a look at the chart and see like how the price is going, it's like nothing's going the same anymore. So people are expecting even more. Like, let's see, I pulled up like a chart from Ivan on Tech's channel, Bull Mania. Shows a lot of the price performances for each year and each of the cycles. So let's see, let's take a look at the cycles, Bitcoin chart, Bitcoin having cycles so far. So let's see, the fourth halvening is right here. So right now, it's again, since it's been around, the halvening has like just been going sideways since 2026 one. First one we see right here back in 2012 was a huge spike. Then we had the 2016 halvening event, then there's spike. And then last one in the 2020, we had this guy go on, but now we're just still sideways. So people are feeling like it's none. Like, where was the chart showing? Let's see, which one was it? I think it was showing like the price move of these guys. So yeah, here's the years for its BTC USD performance by the year. So let's zoom in because it's just the early year right now. We just started. There's that green line down there. So this is what's been taking place, how all the different cycles taking place, like starting of the new year. So again, everyone else has seemed to be like kind of like going down. Let's see, 2023 still had one. Where is that chart? So, okay, so here we are. We're kind of like, we had a nice little run up, and now let's see, 2025 last year. Oh, these are the year by charts. I want to go by the halving events. Where was that one? Was it this guy? No, it wasn't that one. Oh man, Ivan on Tech, you how I can make this easier. But as we're saying is like we're paying attention to the chart right now, and it is just not going the same as it was. So is the 4-year cycle over? I think so, and I think 2026 could be another good year. Now, what else is happening in there? Oh, and for now is good. Welcome to the show. What about Divi? There is nothing going on with Divi right now. I am sorry. I wish there was more news, but for Divi, some people may say, oh, it was a rug pull project. I don't think it was a rug pull at all. Right now, it's just we're bag holders. I still hold my Divi because that's really all I can do. I have it staking on my Calyx computer. So it's just staking me, earning more Divi for hopefully one day, like it does do a rebuttal, comes back. Hopefully these, they've been working on side chains for the past year. So maybe if side chain is very innovative, like, because I think I was supposed to solve like the bridging like errors out there when you're trying to like bridge an Ethereum token over to Solana. Like there's a lot of like risks that come with that. So I think like Divi's idea of side chains was to fix that problem. But as of right now, like that's still just being mentioned. Haven't seen any adoption of it, but you never know. Like one day some big guy could adopt it and hey, Divi's back in the news. So right now we are literally just bag holders of the Divi project. So it wasn't a rug pull. We're just holding it, waiting to see what happens. But let's see what else is going on in the news. We have Tom Lee's BitMine staked another 109,504 Ethereum worth $344 million, bringing its total holdings down to 908,192 Ethereum worth $2.95 billion. So BitMine is really like taking a stake on Ethereum. And yeah, Ethereum's like the, the steel, like the digital steel of the network. That's how I always viewed it. Some people say, oh, it's the digital silver because we call Bitcoin digital gold. I still believe that Litecoin is digital silver, Bitcoin's digital gold, but Ethereum is the digital steel because it's the network you want to build upon. You're not using gold or silver to build these tall towers like in New York, Miami, just like these skyscrapers. It's not built, it's used with steel. So that's why I see Ethereum. That's how I always just viewed Ethereum. It's meant to build projects on DApps, second layer tokens, and all that stuff. So that's how we see Ethereum. And again, it's number 2 coin by market capitalization. So it's Ethereum's not going anywhere because it's still the most popular and most secure compared to Solana, Cardano. And got longer history behind it. So Tom Lee's BitMine is still hedging against that and going with it. Did I say hedging? I don't know why. And let's see what else is going on. Let's see. Justin, the multinational investment bank TD Cowen, says that they expect Congress to enact crypto market structure legislation this year. So, So again, like the market structure bill that's about to be voted on next week is getting a lot of hopes that people are thinking that it is going to get passed. So that's bullish news. But let's actually talk about that going on. And the crypto reps are flying into the U.S. Capitol to address the bill. So here, let's go through this article and learn a little bit more. So the Digital Chamber will facilitate engagement with representatives from several digital asset companies in Washington, D.C. on Thursday, ahead of a markup on major crypto bill. Now, with a markup event on legislation to address digital asset market structure scheduled for next week, representatives from cryptocurrency companies are expected to fly into Washington, D.C., where some will engage with lawmakers on the bill. Now, speaking with Cointelegraph on Tuesday, Cody Carbone, CEO of crypto advocacy organization, the Digital Chamber, said it was possible, if not likely, that the Senate Agricultural Committee would hold up a markup on its version of the Responsible Financial Innovation Act. Now, the market structure bill at the same time as the Senate Banking Committee, Senator Tim Scott, who chairs the Banking Committee, said on Tuesday that the body would vote on the market structure January 15th, so that is next Thursday. Now, it's markup season. We're moving. We believe we will be live in Capitol Hill on Thursday with Digital Chamber members to continue pushing for a strong bipartisan bill. So stay tuned. So this is taking place today right now as they're up there. And tomorrow, I'll probably hear what they talked about, discussed, and maybe we'll get some insights on how people will be voting. But ahead of the consideration by both committees, the Digital Chamber said it has been intimately involved in drafting the legislation and had been invited by lawmakers to provide feedback on different versions of the bills. Now, Carbone told Cointelegraph that the organization would bring in more than 50 member companies on Thursday to continue to educate the Senate offices on why we need a bill and answered related questions. Now, we've been very intentional, given our diverse membership, to bring in participants from all across the digital asset ecosystem: exchanges, token issuers, banks, Bitcoin miners, infrastructure providers, DeFi protocols, said Carbone. And they need to talk about this because, like, with the DeFi section, like you and I know who are in crypto, is like they can't touch that. That is completely decentralized. Like you can't bring the traditional finance into this section because, again, once you do, it's no longer DeFi, it's centralized. So it's just, you can't bring DeFi into the CeFi side of it all. So hopefully they can get that across and we'll see how it goes. But early drafts of the bill expected to be one of the most significant pieces of legislation related to crypto and blockchain. It showed that lawmakers plan to give the U.S. Commodity Futures Trading Commission more authority in regulating digital assets. To date, the Securities and Exchange Commission has taken a leading role in providing regulation and enforcement over many crypto companies. So that's what this market structure bill is going to determine. Hopefully take away some of the power out of the SEC, who's had like a lot of the full control over it. Now it's going to like decide, okay, does the CFTC have saying on this token over here, or how it's playing out? So they're defining the rules, like who can do what. Now, will the U.S. midterms affect or support for will show support or how am I even saying that? Will the U.S. midterms affect support for the bill? Well, on Monday, investment bank TD Cowen reportedly released a notice to investors warning that the RFIA was more likely to pass Congress in 2027, with final implementations potentially as late as 2029. Now, the bank speculated that the 2026 midterm elections could cause some Senate Democrats to withdraw support for the bill, with Republicans potentially losing majority control in November. Now, this sentiment was similarly echoed by Republican Senator and Banking Committee member Tom Tillis, who in October said that lawmakers should act by the first part of January and February to avoid conflicts with the campaigning for 2026 elections. Now, given the momentum of where we are at and the progress that has been done between Republicans and Democrats over the last even just 3 weeks through the holidays and the new year, it's hard to bet against that. This bill is going to get done early this year, said Carbone. This is a real desire to get it done before politics become a big factor in DC. Now, progress on the bill in the Senate was delayed in October after Congress failed to reach a funding agreement, triggering the U.S. government's longest shutdown in the country's history. So, yeah, I remember that. Was it October when the government shutdown took place? And it was. So, again, they failed to reach a funding agreement, and because of the shutdown, everyone's on break. They get their little vacation, so it just got pushed aside. So, now that the shutdown is over, Congress has reached a stopgap agreement to fund the government until January 31st. However, the political concern still could cause another shutdown in a matter of weeks, potentially delaying the market structure bill in the Senate again. And if we do get another shutdown, then I'd assume Bitcoin's price would go down a little bit to follow with it. But yeah, so this is why I'm seeing like the price of Bitcoin is just like holding that. Oh, we're at 91,000, but it's just like holding this. Like here's the week chart. It was at 80,000 like for the longest time. Then we had that nice little spike up to 94. But so I think prices could be holding down until we get some clarity on, okay, is it going to get approved or not? It's literally the buy the news, sell the news, like rumors out there for what we're following. But yeah, so that's what's taking place in DC right now. Representatives are out there. They're talking to Congress, Senates, and just educating them more on cryptocurrencies. And then next Thursday, they're going to vote on it, and I'll let you know how it plays out. And then let's see, what else is going on with adoption around the world? Well, it looks like Florida narrows the scope and revives its Bitcoin reserve proposal for 2026. That's right. The proposal reduces Florida's crypto ambitions, effectively limiting eligible assets to Bitcoin and distances it from pension exposure. Keep up the good job. Now, Florida lawmakers are advancing a proposal that would allow the state to create a strategic cryptocurrency reserve, narrowing earlier efforts to the framework that would effectively limit holdings to Bitcoin. Now, according to the Florida legislative records, Senate Bill SB 1038, sponsored by Republican Senator Joe Gruters, was filed on December 30th and was referred to by the Appropriations Committee on Agriculture, Environment, and General Government on Wednesday. Now, where it must clear hearings and votes before advancing to the Senate floor. Now, the bill would establish a Florida Strategic Cryptocurrency Reserve managed by the state's chief financial officer, which would then allow the office to purchase, hold, and manage and liquidate cryptocurrencies under a standard similar to those governing public trusts. Now, while the legislation does not explicitly cite Bitcoin, it restricts eligible purchases to crypto that maintain an average market cap of at least $500 billion in the last 2 years, and a threshold that only Bitcoin meets. And yeah, because I guess they got to hold over $500,000 or $500 billion in order for 2 full years to do it. And yeah, as we see here's Bitcoin's price with a market cap of 1.8 trillion, and coin number 2 with Ethereum, it's only holding at 376,000. So in order for Ethereum to be eligible onto this on this bill, it would have to increase by $200 billion in market cap and then hold it for 2 years. So Ethereum cannot get on this bill for at least until 2028 if the bill was approved now today or this year 2026. So yeah, so coins must reach a market cap of 500 billion and hold it for 2 years before they can do it. Now let's continue on with the article. And here's a chart showcasing all the states that already have bills enacted and where they're at. So the U.S. State Reserve race, so far we have Arizona, New Hampshire, and Texas with strategic Bitcoin laws that have been enacted. Now we have 3 bills in Massachusetts that are in the Committee 1 hearing section. We have 1 in Michigan, and 2 in Ohio, and 1 in South Dakota, as well as Wyoming, which they did just launch their Frontier stablecoin. I'll cover that next. And then we have Florida, which is, again, getting ready to get its hearings. It's being introduced, and hopefully it makes its way to the committee. So it'll go to committee, chamber, committee 2, chamber 2, and then enacted in front of, it'll be landed in front of Trump's desk and there for signing. but a Senate-led attempt after broader efforts stalled. The new Senate proposal followed and significantly diverges from Florida's earlier attempts to authorize state-level crypto investments. On October 17, 2025, Republican Party Representative Webster Barnaby filed House Bill HB 183, which sought to allow the state and certain public entities to invest up to 10% of their funds in broad ranges of digital assets, including Bitcoin, crypto exchange trade products, crypto securities, non-fungible tokens, and other blockchain-based products. And then also HB 183 was a revised version of HB 487, which was withdrawn in June after failing to advance out of the House of Operations subcommittee. Now, while Barnaby's revised proposal added stricter custody, documentation, and fiduciary standards, the broad asset scope and potential exposure of pension and trust funds faced pushback from lawmakers. Now, SB 1038 removes pension and retirement funds entirely and places oversight directly under the CFO through a standalone reserve structure. Now, its market cap eligibility rule mirrors approaches adopted in states like New Hampshire and Texas, both of which enacted more narrowly defined Bitcoin reserve frameworks in 2025. And Texas did do a huge purchase last year. Like, if you forgot about that, like they planned out to purchase $10 million worth of Bitcoin. $5 million already went into, I think it was either BlackRock or Grayscale's Bitcoin ETF. So that's where $5 million of that went. And they still said, I haven't seen an article where they made a purchase yet, but the other $5 million of that $10 million will go directly to a straight up Bitcoin purchase. So I'm still waiting on that huge news. But yeah, these two states like narrowly defined their Bitcoin reserve framework, but it went through. Now, what's next in the legislative process? Well, we got SB 1038, which is a contingent on companion legislation establishing the necessary trust fund mechanics for the reserve. This means it cannot take effect unless related bills are also enacted during the same legislative session. Now, a House companion measure, HB 1039, was also filed, signaling coordinated Senate and House backing. Now, if this legislation advances, the chief financial officer would be mandated to submit reports to legislative leaders starting in December 2026, detailing the reserve's holdings, value, and management actions. And whether the proposal advances will depend on whether lawmakers view narrow Bitcoin-focused structure as sufficiently distinct from earlier efforts that failed to gain traction. So again, fingers crossed that this bill gets pushed through, because again, I want to see more states adopt a Bitcoin strategy and a Bitcoin reserve. And then also, once I think that's how like the United States has been playing it out since last year. Like right now, Trump's the president in charge. So I feel like he is waiting for like all the other states to incorporate a Bitcoin reserve before we do have already a what was that one thing called? Starts with an E. We already have a bill for a U.S. Bitcoin reserve in place, signed, ready to go. What was that word? I can't remember anymore. Like, it's there, but nothing's been done yet with it, other than only we keep the confiscated Bitcoin we have. But I think he's waiting for every other state to incorporate a Bitcoin reserve, and then the entire U.S. reserve bill will start taking effect. So that's what I think is going to happen. So I do love seeing these articles for more adoption in the U.S. with Bitcoin reserves, and then also just blockchain technology adoption going on, whether it even be a stable coin, real-world asset, tokenization, even AI. Like, I just love seeing blockchain adoption happen. But let's talk about Wyoming stablecoin. Let's keep it to the U.S. right now, and then I'll take a quick commercial break, and we'll talk about what's going on around the world with adoption. But let's talk about Wyoming's frontier stablecoin debuts, and the question that everyone's asking, will it offer yield? So let's find out about that. The Wyoming frontier stablecoin is now available to the public 4 months after its official launch. So 4 months after Wyoming stablecoin was introduced, the Cowboy State declared on Wednesday that its frontier stable token is now available to the public. Now, as the first state-issued stablecoin in the U.S., the token that's pegged to the dollar represents how private companies and governments both see opportunity in the technology following the passage of the landmark legislation for the sector this summer. Now, although people close to the token creation have said that the stablecoin could offer yield, a spokesperson for the Wyoming Stable Token Commission told Decrypt that the feature is still under consideration and it isn't currently present. So right now, this frontier stablecoin, it's just a stablecoin that's going to be just pegged 1-to-1 to the dollar. It's not going to earn you any yield. And I do have to say this because I do know there's some people out there who just don't understand stablecoins. it doesn't go up, it doesn't go down. It's pegged to the dollar. Maybe it'll be $1.01, maybe it'll be 99 point or 0.99999 cents. So yeah, because trust me, I working here at the crypto clubs, it's like you hear some things out there for what people think. It's nothing against them. It's just they didn't know, they're uneducated, but that's why they're coming into the club. But they're saying like one person was like, oh yeah, I want to invest in the RLUSD token, which is Ripple XRP's stable coin. And we're like, and she was like, yeah, it's going to be really good. So much adoption. It's like, yeah, it's good if it gets used, but it's not an investment. It's just $1. Whatever you put into it is just going to stay that same. So I do just got to be aware of that. So again, there's some stable coins out there that do offer yield, like maybe it's on Coinbase, Binance, Kraken, or even your wallet. Like some do offer that position, but most of them do not. And this one right now, they're just saying it's just currently not present at this time, but is under consideration. Now, they specifically said that we are exploring the possibility of providing yield. However, it is not something that we have at this stage yet, they said. Now, those close to the frontier stablecoins, such as Wyoming Democratic State Senator Chris Rothfuss, argued in July that the token could offer yield to investors despite restrictions in the Genius Act. Now, legislation passed this summer because Wyoming is a state, not a business. Now, what's more, the token backers have said that the token will be distinct from other stablecoins offered by private companies due to a tall fence between the state and federal government. Wyoming could push back against requests from federal authorities to seize or freeze funds on chain, they said, while speaking as individuals. Now, Rothfuss told Decrypt on Wednesday that the state has put together a truly exceptional team to manage the token, but the group's work is far from finished yet. They said that we understand the incredible market demand for yield-bearing stablecoins, so we have talked about it internally and are prioritizing work towards it, he said. Now, we have to go through a series of steps to get there, and today is just one of those big steps. Meanwhile, Wyoming said in a press release that the token reserves will be managed by Franklin Templeton, the global investment firm which offers several crypto-focused exchange-traded funds, and the firm also pioneers tokenized money market funds. Now, our collaboration with the state of Wyoming demonstrates what's possible when the public and private sectors work together to create a compliant, trusted framework for digital assets. And Franklin Templeton CEO Jenny Johnson said in a statement. Now, in August, the Wyoming Stable Token Commission said that the state stablecoin would debut on Ethereum, Solana, and Avalanche, as well as several Ethereum-based Layer 2 scaling networks. The token is currently available for purchase on Wyoming-based crypto exchange Kraken, which moved its headquarters to the state from California in June. Now, like most stablecoins, Wyoming's token is backed by a combination of cash and U.S. treasuries. The token's operations leverage Protocol Layer 0 for cross-chain compatibility and digital asset infrastructure firm Fireblocks for security, Wyoming said. So, yeah, so their whole token right now, again, is just backed 1-to-1 with cash and U.S. treasuries. So, like, if you were to compare that to like Tether, USDT's token, it's a combination of cash, US treasuries, Bitcoin, other assets out there. So it looks like this one's telling us that it's just a combination of cash and US treasuries right now. So that's how it's being backed and pegged for 1-to-1 to the dollar. Now, although most stablecoin issuers hold onto that yield that their token reserves generate, Wyoming plans to divert that net revenue to the state's school foundation fund quarterly. In a statement, Governor Mark Gordon lauded the initiative as innovative. So actually that is. So if you can create your coin to have some yield and then you're pushing that towards like the school system, like that's a great way for the government to create some funds out there. But by introducing the nation's first state-issued stablecoin token, we are demonstrating how thoughtful, transparent regulation and new technologies can be harnessed, he said. The launch of the Front token marks a defining moment in our state's continued leadership. Rothfuss said that the Frontier stablecoin token rolled out might have felt drawn out to some, but he noted that the gears of the government turn more slowly than for players in the private sector. And that is so true. Like the gears move slowly. It's like, because again, like, and everything's just a process for a step-by-step issue. It's like, so yeah, we had the Genius Act get passed and executed like last year, and that was giving us rules on stable coins, how they should be played, how they own, and how they're created. So we have those rules. Next up, now we have the Clarity Act / the Market Structure Bill going on, which now defines rules on the cryptocurrency. Is it a security? Is it a commodity? who's going to be in control. So it's a step-by-step, and it's a slow process, like he said. Like, it really is. So it can take some time, but again, it's happening. Like, so we just got to pay attention, see these little breadcrumbs and how they're leading to the final end goal of it. So in the end, the final goal is full-blown adoption, and eventually Bitcoin's going to make its way through it. Because, yeah, we're talking about stable coins right now and rules for that, but again, if everybody's using a stable coin, that means they're already on the blockchain side of it. So if they wanted Bitcoin, they can just convert that stable coin into Bitcoin on some decentralized platform out there, and it'd be like a snap of a finger. Swap, done, I got my Bitcoin. Rather than how it traditionally is right now, I got fiat, I got the US dollar, I want to buy Bitcoin. And then that's where we get some hiccups. It's like, oh, my bank doesn't like crypto, it's not letting me make this purchase. Or what else? Well, that's usually the big main one. Or how do I spend my cash to get Bitcoin so I can bypass the bank? It's like, well, I can use crypto ATMs, but those take so much. So again, this is going to definitely, even though it's just stablecoin news, like once everyone's incorporated using stablecoins, they understand crypto, it's that much simpler just to go back and forth between any token or cryptocurrency you want. So this is definitely really good. Now, it might not feel like a short time from an industry's perspective, but you have to take a look at this as a state activity, he said. Now, this is the government, and to get the government to operate at the speed and efficiency that we operate was Herculean. He's saying that the speed we want to operate on is fast, but the state cannot keep up with it just as far how the government rolls. So that's what's taking place in Wyoming. The Frontier coin, stablecoin, is out. The yield bearing on it is not there. They're working on it, but if you want to, I believe it's on Kraken right now if you want to hold it. For me, though, personally, if I hold a stable coin, I use USDT just because it's the biggest one by market cap, and I kind of like Palo Arduino. So I'll prefer that over USDC. But again, more coins out there. I like it. So that's our Wyoming news for you. Now let me take a quick commercial break so I can take a sip of my soda, and then we will be back with more just what's going on in the world. I think we have Iran is accepting crypto payments for weapons. That's right. So we're covering that article. And also multinational energy giant EDF explores tokenized real-world assets. And is that the Abu Dhabi area, so like the Dubai section? So yeah, so still there, it's not like the news I just covered happened in the United States, but Bitcoin is a global phenomenon, and we'll be covering those news on how it's taking place around the world. So we'll be right back after these messages.
What if I told you a truck driver cracked the code to building a crypto empire? Meet Bitcoin Ben. He went from driving 18-wheelers to creating 6 different ways for regular people to stack Bitcoin and build wealth. This isn't just another crypto course. This is a complete ecosystem where you earn while you learn. First up, the confidential bulk purchase program. Get Bitcoin at wholesale prices through group buying power. Then there's Home to HODL. Convert your home equity directly into Bitcoin instead of cash. Need funding? The Loans for Bitcoin program gets you the capital to buy more crypto. Want passive income? Private Key Capital puts your Bitcoin to work. Hungry for something different? Bitcoin Ben's tokenized beef lets you invest in real cattle backed by blockchain technology. And if you want to mine, Bitcoin Ben's mining program gets you started with the right equipment and knowledge. But here's the kicker. Bitcoin Ben's Crypto Club pays you to learn. Earn 10% on direct referrals, 5% on second level, 2% on third level. This might be the only membership where you make more than you pay. Ben went from 10 years behind the wheel to becoming the world's most unlikely crypto expert. Now he's sharing everything through live training, community events, and proven systems that work. Ready to stop watching from the sidelines? Join Bitcoin Ben's Crypto Club today and start stacking sats while building your financial future. Your truck driving days are over. Your crypto empire starts now.
And we're back. So yeah, if you guys want more information, go to bitcoinben.io. Check out all of our currently offer. I always recommend checking out our confidential bulk purchases. That's more ideal to the average member out there who are looking to spend more than $5,000 on Bitcoin. So yeah, that's always the best option you can take advantage of for being a member of the club. And if you need more information, give us a call or text at 941-413-8080. Now let's dive right back into the news. Let's hear about how Iran is accepting crypto payments for weapons, but this may not help them evade sanctions. So here we go. Let's go to our first article coming back from the ads. Now, Iran's Mindex website offers military equipment for purchase, with its FAQ now saying that buyers can contract to pay in crypto. So everybody wants some crypto. So Iran has begun accepting crypto as payments in its sales of advanced weapons as part of an ongoing effort to evade international sanctions. Is it really to evade international sanctions, or is it more for them to stockpile a reserve? Because again, U.S. is starting it. I think the rest of the world needs to start stacking Bitcoin as well. But Mindex, Iran's Ministry of Defense Export Center, has updated the FAQ on its website to state that it accepts payment methods include cryptocurrency agreed upon in the contract. Now, products for the sale via Mindex included rockets, aircrafts, tanks, and boats, as well as guns, ammunition, data services, and communicational equipment. Now, Iran has been accused of supplying weapons to Russia in recent years, as well as to groups that have been designated as terrorist organizations by the United States. We got Hezbollah and the Houthis. Now, it has been sanctioned by the United States to varying degrees since 1979, while the United Kingdom, France, and Germany renewed its sanctions related to nuclear proliferation activities in August of 2025. Now, Iran's apparent embrace of crypto was first reported by the Financial Times, which describes the move as the first example of a nation-state accepting cryptocurrency as payment for military goods and services. However, some security commentators are skeptical that Iran will receive significant sums of crypto via the Mindex website, which TRM Labs' Ari Redboard suggests that may have been mischaracterized as transactional platform. Now, speaking to Decrypt, Redboard said that he wouldn't agree with any claim that a heavily sanctioned nation-state is openly marketing ballistic missiles, drones, warships, and other strategic systems through the public website, essentially an Amazon-style storefront for Iranian weapons. Now, any such claims raises red flags for Redboard, largely because the website-based sales are simply not how sovereign arms transfers are generally carried out. Redboard has reviewed the Mindex website, and while he affirms that it does appear to be a legitimate and state-linked marketing site, he highlighted that the lack of prices, quantities, delivery timelines, and logistic details is lacking to it. Now, there is no shopping cart, checkout process order confirmation, or integrated payment infrastructure, he said. There is no cryptocurrency wallets, public keys, smart contracts, or blockchain rails. Now, Redboard notes that there is no buy option if you click on an item, with the only available action being to add to is LOI. Now, clicking that routed me to a letter of intent from requiring extensive self-identification, meaning the name, nationality, company affiliation, so kind of like a KYC. That has the contract details, referral source, and references to approvals and security authorization. He explained that, adding that at no point was he shown a quote or a request for any kind of payment information when he was doing this. Now, rather than actually buying military hardware, he suggests that the site visitors would be submitting themselves for review, and presumably by the Iran military and or government to do it. Now, cryptocurrency does not appear on the site, but only as one item in a list of possible settlement options alongside barter arrangements and other negotiable terms, he added. Now, the language is consistently conditional, framed as agreed in the contract, and ultimately, Redboard argues that the Mindex functions as a signaling and intake mechanism rather than a crypto-enabled online retail site at all. So, especially given the fact that strategic arm transfers are usually protracted political acts involving licensing and user assurance, compliance reviews, logistic training, and long-term support. So, again, if you go to the site, like he's saying, you're not going to be as people add it like Amazon. Oh, I like that weapon ad. Oh, where's I can pay my Bitcoin? No, so you gotta. It's like a submitted process you gotta do. It's like, okay, here's my KYC. Can I do this? And then they'll probably take you later on. But given that the sanctions in Iran, cryptocurrency has become an alternative payment rail to facilitate cross-border trades, as well as remittances, said Andrew Fearman, the head of national security intelligence at Chain Analysis. Now, Fearman told Decrypt that Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps and their proxy networks have recently expanded their use of cryptocurrencies to facilitate money laundering, illicit oil sales, and procurements of arms and commodities, with total identified volumes currently standing at over $2 billion. Now, he explained between Hezbollah, Hamas, and the Houthis, these organizations are using cryptocurrencies at scales previously not seen on the blockchain. Yet, despite Iran's increasing use of crypto, Firearms also indicated that blockchain-based money laundering and sanction evasions may provide opportunities for law enforcement. So as an example, he highlighted the OFAC's designation last September of 2 Iranian individuals and a network of shell companies based in Hong Kong and the UAE. The designated parties had coordinated crypto transactions aimed at laundering the proceeds of around $100 million in oil sales, with funds ultimately being directed to Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps Quds Force, the IRGC-QF, and the Ministry of Defense and Armed Forces Logistics, so the MODALFL. Now, the complexity of this network spanning multiple jurisdictions and utilizing both traditional front companies and cryptocurrency highlights the challenges in detecting and disrupting modern sanction invasion schemes. He said, however, it also shows how transparency of the blockchain presents unprecedented opportunities to identify and disrupt complex networks, facilitating sanctions evasions in the hundreds of millions of dollars. So they're using like many different avenues to try to evade it by going to different countries and just using their platform. But again, so are they using cryptocurrencies or are they accepting cryptocurrency to purchase weapons, guns, tanks, and all that stuff? Honestly, we do not know. Cannot truly tell. But just from what we said, though, here in this article, what somebody found out there is, it's just in the contract details is the only reference to cryptocurrencies out there saying, yep, it could be settled in crypto in the contract. But again, it's not like an Amazon website, again, to add to the cart, buy this weapon, here's the public address, send Bitcoin to it, it's done. It's not like that. So, but so I guess they're not accepting crypto payments, but it is in the contract. It is in the details, the fine print. I always read the fine print, right? But that's what's going on over in Iran. Now let's talk about the multinational energy giant EDF and how it's exploring tokenization with Drop RWA. So our collaboration is about exploiting the energy sector and being able to tokenize a market that always requires heavy capital to access, says Fausto Al-Munai, chairman of Drop Real World Assets. I doubt it's actually Real World Assets. That's usually just the abbreviation for it, but this is called Drop RWA. But the global energy company EDF has signed a deal with Real World asset technology company Drop RWA to look into tokenization and blockchain-based solutions for Saudi Arabia's energy sector. Per a press release shared with Crypto News, Omar Adwish, CEO of EDF International Regional Headquarters, signed a memorandum of understanding with Faisal Al-Munai, chairman of Drop RWA Limited. Therefore, the MOU has created a framework for partners to explore the integration of decentralized technologies within the country's energy sector. More precisely, it focuses on blockchain-based protocols, potential to streamline intercompany transactions, tokenization of real-world energy assets to improve project liquidity, and development of frameworks for the carbon credit industry. So moreover, the organization says that by bringing energy assets on-chain, ranging from renewable energy installations to thermal assets, the partnership seeks to modernize financial structures and drive transparency throughout the asset lifecycle. And that's what we usually love about cryptocurrency and blockchain technology. It's the transparency aspect of it behind it. It's like nothing's hidden anymore. If you want to see a transaction that happened, you just go on chain and go, oh, well, there it was. That's happening. You can put little notes in it too if you wanted. So everyone's is kind of moving to the transparency aspect of it, of just finances, business, everything just should be transparent. No more lies. Honestly, we've seen what lies got us to. So no more lies. Let's just make everything transparent. Now, meanwhile, the EDF Group is a large multinational energy company. Its parent company is one of the world's largest electricity producers, Electricité France. Now, the group supplies energy and services to 41.5 million customers. It says it generated consolidated sales of 118.7 billion, is that euros or pounds? I always forget, I think it's euros, in 2024 per the press release. Now, also, Drop RWA says that its team specializes in delivering sovereign real-world assets and projects to the primary capital market. They help governments and semi-government entities utilize blockchain to unlock asset value, it says. Now, making energy assets more accessible, the collaboration aims to set a new standard for managing and financing the region's large-scale energy projects. The announcement says that this way they create a more sustainable and efficient economic environment, a goal which aligns with Saudi Arabia's vision of 2030. Now, EDF RHQ's Adwish said that the organization supports innovative effort that advances the country's energy sector, and it also explores the potential of asset tokenization and the next generation financial technology, which allows us to look beyond just traditional frameworks, he writes. Therefore, the latest initiative with Drop RWA will show the way in which novel tech can drive value for our projects and contribute to more robust carbon credit markets. Now, here was a tweet from Faisal Monai. Today, we signed the strategic MOU between Drop RWA and EDF Middle East. Now, the energy infrastructure is long-term, capital-intensive, and tightly regulated, yet the financial models behind it have changed far less than the systems that they support. Now, tokenization in the energy sector has so far remained largely a pilot level or limited to individual assets. Now, our collaboration is about exploring the energy sector and being able to tokenize a market that always requires heavy capital access. And in addition to tokenizing energy assets, we also agreed to collaborate on tokenizing carbon credits and streamlining intercompany transactions. Definitely looking forward to share the news about our first tokenized energy project, and I'll keep you guys up to date on that. But moreover, Drop RWA's Al Munai argued that the MOU represents a significant step towards making energy assets more accessible, liquid, and efficient through the power of blockchain. Now, our collaboration is about exploring the energy sector and being able to tokenize a market that always required heavy capital to access, he said in a LinkedIn post. So this company is working together just to bring their company to the blockchain network again to make it transparent and then just more efficient. It helps it out that way. So really cool. So we got weapons potentially being purchased in Iran with crypto. So hey, it's being used, right? And then we have the EDF energy giant in the Middle East. We have all the positive news in the US with the bills going through there. So adoption is pretty big right now going into 2026, and I love it. Whether it's the bad side, it's like, oh no, terrorists are buying weapons. It's like, oh well, it just feeds the beast of the people claiming that crypto is bad. It's only used by criminals. It's like, yeah, so is a lot of other stuff. Our fiat currency we use is used by criminals a lot. A car is used by criminals a lot. It's like, yeah, it's a vehicle tool to get you to your work, drive you places, but criminals use it to steal money from a bank or whatever. So this again, that would just feed the beast there. But yeah, so I love seeing all this adoption news take place around the world. Now let's continue on. Let's talk about Binance, what they're doing with precious metals right now. So it looks like Binance expands into precious metals with a gold, silver's futures, and then settled in USDT. So instead of like getting into the perpetual futures with these and exiting out to the fiat system, you're getting settled in USDT, and so you're staying on chain. So pretty cool. So Binance just launched the gold and silver perpetuals futures settled in USDT, expanding crypto's denominated access to precious metal markets. Excuse me, guys. I felt a tickle there going. I think I sip a Diet Coke first. There we go. Now, Binance has launched a new perpetuals future contract tied to gold and silver, expanding the crypto exchange derivatives, offering beyond just digital assets as demand grows for exposure to traditional safe haven markets. Now, Binance said on Thursday it has introduced gold and silver perpetual futures that allow investors to trade the metals around the clock without an expiration date. Now, the contracts are settled in Tether's USDT stablecoin, giving traders on-chain access to price movements in precious metals rather than direct ownership to the underlying asset. Now, the new product listed as XAUUSDT and XAGUSDT are designed to track the price of gold and silver and are aimed at bridging traditional financial markets with crypto trading infrastructure. Now, Binance said in a statement, the exchange added that more traditional assets linked to contracts are planned. Now, Binance's perpetual contracts are regulated by the Financial Service Regulatory Authority, with licenses obtained under the Abu Dhabi Global Market Framework through Next Exchange Limited, a Binance entity. Now, the new contracts are a key step in bridging traditional finance and crypto innovation, backed by strong regulatory compliance and trust, said Jeff Lee, the vice president of products at Binance. Now, other exchanges are offering precious metals tied perpetual contracts, including Coinbase, MEXC, BTCC, BingeX, and Bybit, with the latter only offering perpetual gold contracts. So Binance is doing it a little bit different by adding silver to it as well. But gold and silver have risen to new all-time highs in the growing safe haven demand right now. So Binance is offering follows a period of strong demand for the world's leading precious metals, with both logging in new all-time highs. Now, geopolitical tensions and weakening U.S. dollar drove gold and silver to a new all-time highs in December, as gold price peaked above $4,500 per ounce on December 26, and silver reached $83 per ounce on December 28th, according to data from the goldprice.org site. Now, both precious metals outperformed Bitcoin over the past year, which declined by about 5%. Gold rose 67%, and silver rallied 152% during the 2025. Now, gold traded at $4,400 per ounce, while silver changed hands at $75 at the time of this writing. Now, tokenized commodities also surged to new all-time highs in December following the wider rally in precious metals. And Binance's decision to settle the contracts in USDT just comes as Tether continues to expand its presence. The company has opted not to seek authorization under new European Union markets and crypto asset frameworks, citing concerns over how the rules apply to stablecoins. Now, at the same time, USDT has gained regulatory recognition in some jurisdictions, including Abu Dhabi. Well, it has been approved for use by regulated companies. Now, Cointelegraph reached out to Binance to clarify the jurisdiction availability at the contracts, including whether they will be offering to users in the European Economic Area or even the United Kingdom, but has not received a response by publication time. So I'm guessing this is just for US residents, so it'll probably be Binance US instead of just Binance.com. But yeah, so gold and silver, gotta go the and there because all the other exchanges are just doing gold right now, can be handled on Binance. So pretty cool. Yeah, awesome. Now I got one more article for you. I know it's got a quite long show today. Got lots of news happening. Love it, right? Because usually when I just have 4 or 3 articles, it's just a half-hour show going on. But let's talk about Solana's mobile wallet. No, not mobile wallet. Solana's phone. The Seeker phone, was it? It was one of them. They had 2 out there. But it looks like an airdrop is about to come. So if you hold on to this phone, let's be aware of this because you may want to take that token and just move it right away. Unless you want to hold it for the long run, but I wouldn't. But Solana Mobile gears up its airdrop SKR token to Seeker phones users, but not Saga owners. Okay, so is the Saga the first generation phone and Seeker is the second? I forgot. Maybe this article will explain it to us. But Solana Mobile announced it will airdrop its native ecosystem token, SKR, to the Seeker device users and app developers on January 20th. So if you're wondering when that date's going to happen, it's January 20th. So we are 12 days away. So Solana Mobile will airdrop its new SKR token to Seeker smartphone users and developers in its mobile ecosystem on January 20th. It announced on Wednesday, however, users of the earlier Solana Saga phone won't be eligible for the new token drop, a Solana Mobile rep confirmed to Decrypt. Now, while an official X post from Solana Mobile said that the airdrop will occur on January 21st in the UTC time zone, a screenshot on the thread shows that the airdrop claim will take place at 9 p.m. Eastern time on January 20th. Now, the airdrop will grant 20% of the 2 billion unlock SKR tokens to holders of the second generation Solana mobile phone. Okay, yeah, so Seeker was the second generation phone. And developers of the application for the crypto-focused mobile device, overall, 30% of the total 10 billion SKR tokens have been set aside for airdrop incentives. Now, Season 1 proved crypto mobile works. You made that happen. Now, here's that snapshot token. So this was a partial post on Twitter. Now, SKR will give all of the people who have gotten us to this point the opportunity to influence the success of this platform. Who can participate, what rules they follow, and what economic flows keeps it going, said Solana Mobile GM Emmett Hollier, and he posted that on X. Now, this airdrop is the first step, he said. Now, additional details about the airdrop claim and allocation process are expected in the near future, but the mobile arm of the Speedy Layer 1 network said that a snapshot of activity on Seeker devices has already been taken in advance of the token launch. Now, the activity has spanned more than 9 million transactions and $2.6 billion in transactional volume as part of the Seeker Season 1, since devices started shipping globally in August, and Season 2 began on Wednesday with more details expected for the season on Thursday. Now, beyond the airdrop tokens, an additional 2.7 billion SKR tokens, or 27% of the total supply, will be unlocked during the token generation event on January 20th. So 1 billion tokens each for liquidity and community treasury, and 700 million for growth and participation. A further 1.8 billion SKR tokens will be unlocked linearly to support their growth initiatives in the future, according to the tokenomics breakdown. Now, they said our plans haven't changed. We're building the easiest, most secure way to participate in the internet capital markets from the supercomputer in your pocket, Hollier posted. And SKR is a critical step on the path to open ecosystems that will bring on more devices, more developers, and more users. Now, more than 150,000 secret devices were pre-ordered by crypto users following the rollout of the Solana's mobile's first-generation Android device, the Solana Saga, and the Seeker sells for $500. The Saga, which generated buzz for the frenzy of airdrops attached to the phone, lost support for software updates and security patches in October, and the lack of support also applies to the SKR airdrop. Now, Saga users will not be accounted for in the SKR airdrop, a rep told Decrypt. So I guess with the Saga phone, that's some more new news there. It doesn't do the updates anymore, so it's kind of lacking. But if you had that first generation Solana Saga phone, like whatever you paid for it, you made it back in airdrops alone. So it proved that worked. And now the Seeker phone is doing the same thing. So I guess that's why the Seeker is getting the tokens and not the Saga. The Saga just doesn't do any more updates. The support, there's no support or lack of support, no support to it now. So it kind of forces you to upgrade straight to the next model. Kind of like how Apple does it with all their phones, right? You buy a brand new phone, and it's like, oh, it's obsolete. We're going to stop doing updates for it. So I think they did this one quite fast for that first generation. But that's what's going on with Solana and its mobile phone Seeker, and airdrops coming on the 20th. So if you purchase that phone, take a look out for those coins. But that is it for the news today. Let's take a look at our fear and greed index. Where are we at? We are at a 43 neutral. So we dipped a little bit. People are getting a little bit fearful. Like we basically almost went to the 50 when Bitcoin was touching 94,000. But because of our little slip down beneath 90,000, I think we're like at 89.9 was what I saw it at. That just dropped this mark just a little bit. Now, Ethereum's price is currently sitting at $3,100. XRP is down 5 cents since yesterday at $2.15, and Solana is at $138 right now. And again, what does the metrics show us on TradingView? And we've taken a look at that. The technical side, technical is saying buy right now, so maybe I should. Well, I did dip, so of course you should buy. Not right now for me. I got to wait for it to be like 89 to buy back in, because I am playing with a little bit of Bitcoin trading just back and forth. Very, very small portfolio. So my next buy-in, though, is when it's under 90. Let's see. Oscillators show neutral and moving averages buy. So again, technicals and charts are telling us to buy right now, but I don't know. I'm letting you know, like, this could be going down maybe a little bit longer. I think prices are going to hold until we get some more clarity on how the vote happens with the market structure bill. I think that's going to be a big determiner on the buy or sell the news aspects. But everyone, I hope everyone has an awesome day today. I got to get ready for our crypto class now here at the Bitcoin Event Crypto Club. It's going to be hosted by Steve Blanco, our manager at the Nashville Club location. So we're going to be talking about cycles, happenings, and not losing your soul. So members of the club, I will see you on class. Everyone else, I'll see you tomorrow with some more crypto news. So everyone take care. Peace. Love you. And bye.
What if I told you a truck driver cracked the code to building a crypto empire? Meet Bitcoin Ben. He went from driving 18-wheelers to creating 6 different ways for regular people to stack Bitcoin and build wealth. This isn't just another crypto course. This is a complete ecosystem where you earn while you learn. First up, the confidential bulk purchase program. Get Bitcoin at wholesale prices through group buying power. Then there's Home to HODL. Convert your home equity directly into Bitcoin instead of cash. Need funding? The Loans for Bitcoin program gets you the capital to buy more crypto. Want passive income? Private Key Capital puts your Bitcoin to work. Hungry for something different? Bitcoin Ben's tokenized beef lets you invest in real cattle backed by blockchain technology. And if you want to mine? Bitcoin Ben's mining program gets you started with the right equipment and knowledge. But here's the kicker. Bitcoin Ben's Crypto Club pays you to learn. Earn 10% on direct referrals, 5% on second level, 2% on third level. This might be the only membership where you make more than you pay. Ben went from 10 years behind the wheel to becoming the world's most unlikely crypto expert. Now he's sharing everything through live training, community events, and proven systems that work. Ready to stop watching from the sidelines? Join Bitcoin Ben's Crypto Club today and start stacking sats while building your financial future. Your truck driving days are over. Your crypto empire starts now.